Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We have our next session of Chance to Update to Expert training course, and today our topic is creativity. Of course, as you know, don't forget to subscribe and to put like to this video and so on. It's kind of typical phrase, but you don't really need to do it because all those videos are like closed to the audience, and you only can reach those videos by the link. Anyway, you're welcome to help me by subscribing and liking this video. We're talking about creativity today, and yeah, I have three big questions for you guys to warm you up. Yeah, of course, I see there are only 2 of you right now online, but I hope, I expect probably about 5 more people will join in next 5 minutes or something. And so, yes, let's go right now. Colleagues, Saba and Angeliki, what is creativity for you? But please be specific. Do not just put any synonym like, I don't know, out of the box thinking, because if you write out of the box thinking, I can ask, what is out of the box thinking? Explain it, please. Just please explain, how do you understand the creativity? You're welcome to unmute. You're welcome to type it if you wish, so it's up to you.
To be honest, I was writing down to think outside the box, but then you say that it's not welcome. So I think that creativity is connected to the different point of view, when somebody can see something in different ways.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Angeliki, do you have anything to say, please? Go on.
Maybe that it's an ability to express yourself very freely.
Freely, to express myself freely. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Good. So thank you. That's perfect. That's a really great start. You know, guys, there are many tools, before I say this, there are many. My next question to everybody of you: how to develop the creativity? Please explain some kind of typical methods you possibly used, maybe some very well-known methods, or maybe your specific methods or tools, or like ways, techniques, how to develop, how to boost the creativity.
By reading.
Reading. Okay, good. Hello, Christina. Welcome.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
How can you develop? How can you boost? How can you enlarge your creativity? How you can make a person more creative, or maybe a person is yourself. How can you make yourself more creative? Hello, Christina. We're thinking about creativity now, and my second question to the group is how to develop, how to boost, how to enlarge, how to force the creativity, how to make the person more creative. Any well-known tools you have heard about, maybe your unique tools, any specific ideas, and so on. Please go on. Thank you, Christina. Thank you for your birthday wishes. Yeah, so your answers.
May I answer the question? First of all, happy birthday. I didn't know that you had birthday today, so happy birthday, best wishes. And so I'm going to answer the question. I agree with Angeliki. She said that the reading is great boost of creativity, but also I think that watching different genres in movies or some cartoons can boost the creativity too.
Cartoons. Okay, good. Guys, newcomers, we are discussing the ways how to develop and boost creativity. I mean, your ways you have heard about, ways you think about, ways to boost, to enlarge the creativity, to make the person more creative. Coming back to the reading, why reading is the way to develop the creativity? Why do you think so? Any ideas? Try not to Google. Try think yourself, please. Why reading can help?
Can I say?
Please go on.
When I said reading, I meant especially biographies. That's what came to my mind, because that's how I get inspired a lot.
Mm-hmm. Does this mean that for you, creativity is like based on inspiration, and when person inspired, person can be more creative, or what do you mean?
Biographies of artists can be inspiring and boost your creativity, maybe.
Biography of artists. Well,
I kind of disagree with Angelique because I think that any kind of reading material can help you to develop some creative thinking. You know, if you're reading about the adventures or fantasies, you are fantasizing it in your head, so you're seeing everything in your point of view. And I think that any type of reading material can develop the creativity. But also, beside of the reading or watching something, there could be some specific tasks uh, which can help you, you know, to develop the creativity.
Good. Thank you very much. Christina, why traveling? Can you please explain? So again, I overall agree with you, but why? You wrote traveling can boost the creativity. Why do you think so? Why art? Why learning languages? Expand the mind. What do you mean by that? I mean, again, I totally agree because yes, I prepared a piece of like my ideas regarding creativity, and your answers totally correspond with my ideas, guys. And yes, I will like present you my ideas really soon. But why? Crash all stereotypes. Good. Good. Okay. Anything else to add?
Maybe if I can add a bit. So I totally agree with the reading part, because you have to imagine a lot of stuff what you are reading. With the movies, I don't have that much experience with movies being creative, because it's already done in a way that it captures your focus, a lot of images, and not a lot of, well, most of the movies do not have a lot of creativity for you to develop. They are creative, they are really great, but I'm not sure as a material to be creative. But what helps me when I want to be creative, and when I have my colleagues, is just to get out from our regular routine, like to go open somewhere in the woods or anywhere, and then just start talking. Especially what I like is that we kind of make them a bit to be bored, you know, so that their mind has to find something to get amused with. So that's it for me.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's like really great that you said it. And one more phrase that I really appreciate for that, actually a great beginning of like finally my part of this session, is a phrase by Christina: build new neuron connections. That's it, actually. Thank you very much, guys. So yeah, now like I will propose a few ideas. The ideas are based on latest researches by cognitive scientists, like different books, different articles, like and so on. In these ideas, the structure is already copyrighted. And please, if you use the idea I propose, you do not forget to mention whom you have heard about it. I would highly appreciate for that. Yeah, go on. So first idea, we think using the associations. Second idea, the more associations we have, the more possibility to provide unusual, unique set of associations when we think about new problem. Third, when our life is like casual, regular, and like routine, the amount of associations our mind produce logically reduces. I mean, the associations that firstly produced by our mind for any specific problem we need to solve. How to develop is to enlarge the amount of different associations, objects we know about, aware of, and so on, and to boost our possibility to find, to choose, to select, to kick out some not acceptable, not approvable associations, I mean ideas that comes into our mind, and go to not so common, not so regular, and more unique, and that is why possibly more useful for the situation. So now it was kind of set of 5 sentences, set of 5 statements, and I would be really happy to show you more details. Don't panic yet. But I have one more question. What is opposite to the creativity? How would you call, how would you label, how would you explain something vice versa, something opposite to the creativity? Like, if that person is creative, I mean, the creative behavior or like creative itself, how would you label the opposite person with opposite, possibly, abilities of mind? What do you think? Something opposite to creativity, how can you call it? How can you explain it? Tell me more about it, please. What is opposite to creativity? Formal, boring, good. Anything else? Just labels or maybe explanations. Again, you're welcome to unmute yourself, to unmute yourself and just speak it up. Boring, formal. Any more ideas? Go on, be creative. Give us more associations. Switch on brainstorming.
Some kind.
No creativity. What is it? Please go on.
Some kind of template thinking. Yeah. I hope that you understand what I meant.
Absolutely. Clearly, yes, it's clearly adjusted to the idea I'm going to produce you to discuss with you right now. Well, thank you very much. That's it. So, as far as science, cognitive science agree, human beings accept information from outside using eyes, ears, all possible I don't know, feelings, ways of feelings, and so on. So we listen, we learn, we see, we analyze, we talk, we discuss, we read, of course. And by doing that, we create associations in our mind. We learn different objects, we explore those objects, we recall, we remember those objects, we label those objects in our mind. And now I'm going to tell a very important thing about our subconscious mind, or I can say also memory. Right now, I'm using memory in the same meaning as subconscious mind. So memory and subconscious mind today is almost the same, but okay, normally it is not. But today, within today's topic, it's pretty similar to memory and subconscious mind, because memory is controlled by subconscious mind. Right now, an experiment. I will give you, let's say, a noun, any random noun in a few seconds, and I would ask you to think about associations that comes to your mind firstly, within let's say 3 seconds. Yes, so you don't need to type during those 3 seconds, just think about this noun and its meaning, or maybe I can even type it, yes. And you will read it, and please think about associations, and then please type all possible associations that you got into your mind within 3 seconds. Remember that you can get some additional associations after 5, 8, 10 seconds. Try to avoid all the associations that came to your mind comes to your mind later than 3 seconds. And one more thing, if somebody already put into the chat your association, do not think about it. Anyway, put it again and again. Even you're welcome to repeat the same association for 10, I mean 5, we have 5 people, for 5 times, or you like, if it was your association within first 3 seconds to the noun I will give you very soon, then please type it into the chat. We need to count the amount of those associations. Are you ready to start? Good. So my association will appear into the chat in 3, 2, 1. Now, a dinner. Dinner. Please go on. Three seconds is over. Now please just type what it came to your mind. Sushi, late, anything else? Please go on. So please continue typing everything. Hunger, people, nice, love, food, very good. Food, friend, fried potato, very good. Okay, please continue. So we have your mind, your subconscious mind or your memory got a key. The key is dinner, and you might start to, as fast as possible, bring different associations to your conscious mind. Associations connected with this like key, this label, dinner. That's how creativity works. And you see, as far as I see, only one person so far put this association sushi, and only one person put beer. So those beer and sushi are pretty unique, but at least 2 people put food as the association. If you have more, please put more into the chat so we can use this result of this thinking experiment to understand how it works. Now, coming closer to the creativity. All our life, we get any objects, we explore the world around us. We learn associations between objects. Sometimes we're surprised, sometimes we already know anything. So like our mind just try to remember all those associations. And one more thing, once our mind, subconscious mind, considers that we need any kind of set of associations, our mind runs to this huge, let's say, imagine a great hall of shelves with kind of with folders with different associations, different labels connected with the key word we have just heard. So this 1,000 of well-trained monkeys bring as many associations as possible within specific time, within shorter time, because our mind needs to understand what is going on and why. I mean, when we hear any specific key, any specific noun or not noun, maybe adjective or maybe a verb, anything, any word. Well, that's it. So creativity is the way how fast our mind, subconscious mind, all those 1,000 of well-trained monkeys, can bring new or maybe any associations to the problem we think about currently. That's the creativity. Yeah, that's it. And now a little bit about the mind stuck of mind. Guys, a question to you, to everybody. Please put plus into the chat if you ever have been working for specific, let's say, in the specific office building, in specific facility, within specific room for more than 3 years in a row. And I can put my plus too because I have been working. So the same room, possibly the same corridor, the same color of walls in the corridor, the same sounds of voices of your colleagues, possibly the same rituals like coffee in the morning and so on. So-called, so typical like work job routine. When you come and you need to go for coffee to discuss something with your colleagues, with a coffee before you start your work and so on. So you have those, you have 3 pluses, very good. And now please think about your typical behavior. Think about, yeah, one more question. Imagine a person who is really important in your life, possibly a husband, a wife, a child, any kind of child, a mom, dad, a good friend, person. Please, if you have such person, so if you see the face of that person, you feel really pleasant, you feel really pleased about it, you feel really good emotions when you just see the photo of that person. If you have such person, please double plus into the chat, please. I have, so I can put my double plus into the chat. Yeah, so that's the way how our subconscious mind works again. When we see some kind of specific signals from outside, for example, the face of person, our mind set up to specific state of mind. For example, positive state when we see just a picture of the person. We don't see the person, but we see just pictures, like features of the face of the person. Anyway, we feel those positive emotions. And one more thing, the latest thing within this block. After the thing, we will summarize this block of information. Our well-trained monkeys, our subconscious mind, really desired and do its best to give us an expected answer as soon as possible. So when we learn about any specific problem, our subconscious mind tries to find a way to solve this problem. And when the solution is found, those well-trained monkeys, I mean subconscious mind, brings this solution to the problem into our conscious mind. Okay? Please give me kind of okay into the chat if you track the idea I'm talking about. And please put okay, double okay if you think I'm explaining too detailed and too easy and everything is too clear for you. So if you track me, put okay. If it's too easy to understand and too simple, I'm explaining too simple, please put double okay. Good, we're going on. So when those well-trained monkeys, okay, I see, okay, very good. So I can run to make it more information. Good, thank you very much. When subconscious mind gets the task, it searches for the solution and brings this solution to our conscious mind to start solving the task. When we get the same task in a few days, our subconscious mind can find the same solution faster because it's already a solution that is should be higher on this level of information. So it should be easier to access. Then again, the same task, and subconscious mind brings this task even faster. So our subconscious mind brings the solution, brings any emotions, brings any associations into our conscious mind from our memory, from all the great storage of all the information we had ever worked with, we had ever worked through, thought through, brings as fast as possible the information that more highly requested by the situation. And that is, we get this mind stuck when we have typical, usual, casual, regular situation. Our subconscious mind brings us the same solutions, same behavior, same association. So we go to the job, we meet our colleagues, we drink coffee, we sit, we explain rumors and gossips, we go to our work, we just put papers from one pile to another, we finish the day, we go home, that's it. So no creativity. And vice versa, if we have very unique, unexpected tasks, unexpected associations, pictures, problems, every minute, every hour, every day, then subconscious mind cannot create this fast way of finding very suitable, proper solutions. So the solutions that our mind can find can be more creative, more unusual. There are many solutions. That's it. So the ways to develop our creativity. Yeah. So do we need to write something? I so far think it's too clear to write anything. The ways to develop our creativity is to add more associations to enlarge our storage of information, to read, to travel, of course, to try usual activities with unusual hand. Unexpected way of developing creativity. Have you heard about it? Like if you're right-handed, to set up your computer mouse to your left hand and start using your mouse with your left hand, being right-handed, and vice versa if you're left-handed. Please, if you have left-handed people in our call right now, put letter L into the chat if there is somebody who is left-handed. So put your mouse, set up your mouse. It's very easy to do it in your Windows, to change the right and left buttons of your mouse, and set up your mouse to your left hand and start using your mouse with your left hand for some day. I needed about a week to get used to that, and I spent about half a year using my mouse with my left hand, and it was like just normal, just nothing special after this half of year. And then I turned back to my right hand, and it's okay for me. Good. What else? Just to go outside to nature, because nature is very diverse. Nature is non-structured. I mean, you always can find some structure in some specific ways, in some specific senses, meaning, but in details, in bigger or smaller pictures, you see the structure is crashed, the structure is deformed, changed. That is why nature is always, I mean, just walking around, walking outside can give you more creativity. How to use this tool? First, understand the problem. Go to nature, find any kind of, like, I don't know, branch from the tree, a leaf and something, and ask yourself, how can the shape of this branch, of this leaf, help you solving this problem? If it can't, throw it away and take next item and ask again. This is one more way to develop your creativity. But basically, associations, enrich your storage of associations as much as possible, travel a lot, read a lot, think a lot, speak and learn new languages, and of course, avoid the routine activity. Please, guys, the ones who put pluses into the chat about kind of the same job, the same corridors for 3 years or more, please put a triple plus into the chat if you still work in the same corridors. Okay, I see one triple plus. Christina, not more. Thank you very much. So, Yelena, you are in the group of risk. I mean, if you work in the same building with possibly the same people for longer than 3 years, you have a risk to get this mind stuck at your work. And I highly recommend to everybody, of you dear friends, if you have this chance to work in the same situation for more than 2 years in a row, to do your best to change the station. What can you do? Change every day your way, your path to the job and back from job to home. Change the way of transport, the mean of transport. Like instead of car, use public transport. Instead of public transport, I mean, instead of public bus, use underground train as a way, subway. Instead of subway, use bicycle. Instead of bicycle, go by foot, and so on. Travel more, change the corridor, move the furniture in your room, change the position, the structure of furniture. Again, change the hand, change the language. If you have different languages, if you can communicate in different languages, then change the language of the interface of your computer from one language to another. Find at least once per week a way to change your routine somehow, in some stupid ways, in any way, because any possibility to make your mind think like a new way gives you creativity, gives you more opening into your mind, gives the possibility to develop your mind and develop new neuron connections, of course. Different socks, yeah, it can even help. Sure, good. That's it. That's basically it. So, how can you develop the creativity of people? Yeah, of people you work with. Different associations. Let's play the associations game. Right now, very specific tool. Let's choose the sequence of participants. Yelena, then Levan, then Saba, then Christina. Yelena, Levan, Saba, Christina. I will put this consequence into the chat. What would I ask you to do? Yelena, right now, please put any noun, any random noun into the chat right now in English. Next person, generate any associations to the word, to the keyword into the chat, and put this associated keyword into the chat as fast as possible. Next person, Saba, should get only the word written by Levan and type next level of association, next word associated with Levan's keyword. Levan, are you with us? Please put your association to the word by Yelena, the word flower. Good. Thank you very much. So Saba, your turn. Only to second one. So flower pot. Your association to flower pot. And then, of course, when we have this, okay, we have Earth. And now, Christina, your association only to previous one, to latest one, the Earth, your association. And then we go in a circle. Let's make at least 3 circles right now, as fast as possible. Good. I see already Yelena's turn, I see. Next circle, we started second circle. Levan, your turn, please, go on. I don't see your word yet. Yes, I see. Great, great. Thank you very much. Saba. Great. Christina. Great. Yelena. One more circle. Great. Levan, please. Yes, we already have it. Saba. Great. Christina. And let's make it like the end of the circle. Thank you very much. Sleep. Lover, sleep. Very good. Lovely. Okay, so that's it. It's kind of very basic level of association game, and it develops this way of association. Of course, working with kids, you can develop, you can change this game. So you can ask, for example, those kids to go into the center of the circle and to demonstrate this object by their body, or in some more complicated ways to sing this word, this like phrase, or maybe to produce the sound of this next association, or maybe to behave like this next association, or maybe to dance it. I mean, on some very complicated ways. Yeah. Well, good. So coming back to the question, our mind create associations. Our goal is to enrich the amount of associations, first of all. One more thing, talking about this mind stuck, the situation when our subconscious mind gives us too fast some associations that are too obvious and doesn't fit to the situation. I'm talking about mind stuck. It's not very bad. I mean, mind stuck has a purpose. Mind stuck is typical situation when your subconscious mind already has the set of those templated, as colleagues said, as you guys said, templated solutions to typical templated problems, but no one of those typical templated solutions that our subconscious mind can bring to our mind can help with this problem. So our subconscious mind is like too used too much to bring those templated solutions, but our conscious mind rejects those solutions as not appropriate one after another. So we cannot find this like magic circle is going on. So we need also to develop the mechanism to kick off, to reject unacceptable associations, to find additional ones. Guys, please put into the chat the amount of brainstorming techniques you know. How many different brainstorming techniques you know? Please put just the number of how many different techniques of brainstorming do you know. Christina knows 2. Yelena only 1. Okay, guys, any other? Okay, Levan only 1. there are approximately 20 of most commonly used techniques of brainstorming, different types of brainstorming. Please try this one more experiment right now. Just open new tab of your browser and Google different brainstorming techniques, or just like most best brainstorming techniques. And you will find some articles like about 8 most common, most popular brainstorming techniques, or 6 or 5 best brainstorming techniques. Could you please do it right now, like physically, just right now, open the tab and Google it, please do. And run through those descriptions very fast, like scan those descriptions of brainstorming techniques and find the one with the name that sounds very unique for you. And just copy paste this name of brainstorming technique into the chat right now, please. So find any site with different brainstorming techniques, find the technique that for you sounds and looks very unusual, unexpected, and so on, and put the name of this technique into the chat. Negative brainstorming. Thank you very much, Christina. I love this technique. Hello, Eleni. Hello, Eleni. We are Googling the brainstorming techniques right now. Storyboarding, rapid ideation. Great. Thank you. Continue, please. Any other techniques that sounds unusual and unique for you? Brain walking. Great. Actually, I don't know what brain walking is. What is brain walking? I will Google it later. Interesting. Reverse brainstorming. Lovely. Good. What else? Brain shifter. Perfect. Very good. So you see, there are many techniques of brainstorming, and you can read it, you can explore, and you can find some techniques that like really great for your situation. And please do, because yeah, it helps. Well, guys, any questions so far? What do you think about this concept? Like, while presenting this concept is very basic, but just people don't think about the like hardware of mind work, of cognitive processes that hidden like under the hood of creativity, how it works in our mind. I mean, according to the current cognitive science investigations. That is why traveling helps, reading helps. When we read, we need to use symbolical system, and our mind works on the symbolical system that is used in the book. System of symbols, system of words to name any associations. And while we work, I mean, normally our mind is like imaginary mind. We prefer to work with images, with objects, or operate not with words, but with objects, with sounds, with pictures. And when we read, our mind should first find this object, imagine this object, then imagine the second object, then imagine the interaction between those objects as it's written in the text. We are not like understanding the books itself. We read in the books, we transform the books into pictures, and then we think about what is going on in those pictures. And when we read in non-native language, we even do more complicated thing. We read, I mean, before its language became really good, when we don't know the language so well, we read it in foreign language, we translate it into our native language, possibly. Then from our native, we transform it into this picture of images, of interactions. We understand the result, we transform the result into our native language to the foreign language, and finally we can produce the foreign language phrase. And later on, after using this foreign language for a longer time, we can skip the second phase, we can skip the native language, so we can read the phrase or listen the phrase in foreign language and imagine it like right away and produce any kind of symbolical result. I mean, use the same symbolical language, the same possibly foreign language, or so on, something like that, to give the answer, to reply the question, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Questions so far? What do you think about it? How do you feel? Was there anything new for anybody of you guys? Please let me know. Hello, is there anybody in there?
Yeah, if I may say, I'm a bit worried for myself because of this 6 years in the same position. I'm thinking about what should I do, how to change the routine. So yeah, that's really great for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I recommend you to find a way to make some discomfort in your routine, really discomfort, because possibly you have very comfortable just path from work to job. So if you choose not so comfortable way, you will already start boosting your creativity. And if you start changing this way to your job every day or maybe every week or something like that, you will definitely start boosting your creativity every day, every week, and you will enrich the amount of different pictures, images your mind accept during your way to job and back from job to home. Okay. From Levan, it's complicated but also understandable after thinking about it for some time. Yeah, thank you very much, Levan. Good guys, let's go for the next. I mean, I would highly appreciate your feedback, pieces of feedback. What do you think? What do you feel about it? How new is it for you? How clear, how easy, how complicated is it for you? But we have few more problems to discuss. One more problem, why people use mind mapping, why people also, there is great recommendation for creativity is to pencil, to draw. The size of the picture is a problem. The size of the structure, the size of the system we think about, we need to work with. What does this mean? There is a problem. I mean, yeah, first of all, my lovely example. Guys, how can you eat an elephant? What should you do to eat the elephant? To eat the whole elephant. Possibly already brought you this example earlier, and there is a game. Do you remember the answer? How can you, what should you do to eat, to swallow the elephant?
To eat him in pieces.
Yes, thank you very much. You have to be very hungry, really good level, but sometimes it cannot help because yes, just elephant cannot, you have no enough capacity in your body to eat the elephant at once. That is the same with the problem. Sometimes we have a problem. Okay, problem. Democracy in Belarus, it's a big problem, and one person cannot solve it just by sitting in, wow, creative way to establish democracy in Belarus, for example. Yeah. So different types of problems, and problem can be really good, and unfortunately we are just humans. And guys, sorry for saying that, that's kind of my concern. We have limited capacity at that moment of our life. At any specific moment of our life, we can have possibly really big capacity of our brain, of our mind, but anyway limited. I mean, if the system that has a problem, if the problem is too complicated, too complex, too large, with too many of objects, our mind just cannot keep all those objects at the same time in its memory, within the sphere of attention. We just miss some information about some object every second, every millisecond. That is why mind mapping or drawing or penciling allows us to keep track on big problem. I mean, not actually keep track on big problem, but to fix the situation of all the big problem and to focus on specific part of the problem and come to this problem in creative way. So there are two more very common, very well-known techniques how to develop, how to boost your creativity or creativity of your students. To teach them or teach yourself, train yourself to make the mind maps, the structures, to draw the structures of any situation you deal with, you need to deal with, any problematic situation you deal with. To draw the structure, to create the chart, put some elements, put the connections between those elements, and focus at very specific part of this problem and solve this part of this problem at once. And after that, go to next part of the problem. Good. So pencil it. And one more thing, talking about penciling, talking about like fixing, writing, mind mapping, is just your memory. Again, just your memory, because you can get a really great idea how to solve the problem, very creative idea, because your well-trained monkeys searched for good ideas in your memory, and one of very creative, yeah, by the way, guys, yeah, okay, let's finish this explanation. One of those monkeys, one small piece like of your subconscious mind found a neuron connection to very old memory from absolutely another situation, and in this another situation you can like find the solution of absolutely like another situation, and you can implement the solution of another situation from your past to the current problem you have to cope with now. And by doing that, you can solve this problem. But yeah, so you found the solution, but you was too busy with, I don't know, paperwork, with communicating with people, with buying sausage, with, I don't know, ordering pizza or organizing a birthday party or whatever. So you can just, oh, great idea, I need to think about it. And then you like do your like everyday mess. And after this, all the day of this mess, what was the idea? What was the great idea I come up with? Oh my God, I cannot remember. Shit, problem. So you just like forget about it, because like you couldn't focus at that time to on this solution. Really great solution. This is a situation, and one more situation. It's kind of recommendation from the Getting Things Done discipline. Free your mind, empty your mind of your tasks, of small little tasks. Please guys, if you have a situation when during the day you really like your mind is filled with small little tasks you need to solve by yourself, and you don't need any creativity to solve those tasks. You know how to solve those tasks, but there are just very long list of some routine tasks, and new task appears in this list every time. Please, if you have this mess of routine tasks every day, put, let's say, the asterisk symbol into the chat, this star symbol, this one. Like if you struggle of like many different, like if your mind is full with small little things to think about, small little things to remember about. If you try to remember everything, like you go to the shop, you're trying to repeat, okay, eggs, milk, bread, meat, eggs, milk, bread, or vegetable, or something like that. Oh yeah, see, Christina, I have something like that. Yeah, I'm good. So you see, you try to keep something in your mind, and to do that, you need all the time to repeat, to refresh this list into your mind. You need to feel, you need to use the capacity of your mind when you have a great, very old tool to avoid it. Just put it on paper. Free your mind, really take a piece of paper, take a I don't know, tablet or mobile phone with any kind of note-making application and create this to-do list, shop list. Release your mind. It's a recommendation from Getting Things Done. It helps so much, guys, especially when you have this like big list of routine tasks every day in your mind, and you need to keep track on those tasks and so on. Put those tasks on the list and stop thinking about it yourself. Stop keeping this task into your mind. Release your mind, free the capacity of your mind for better, bigger, more important tasks. There was a great example, guys, right before the coronavirus. I took part, possibly I already told you this example, I'm not 100% sure. I took part in a training course in Wrocław in Poland, dedicated to advanced training techniques like crisis trauma and conflicts. And there was a lady from Latvia who said that she has too lot of tasks to do, she cannot sleep. I mean, it was just discussion about something else, and like once she mentioned that it's hard for her to go to sleep because her mind is like buzzing like a hive of bees, buzzing with all those tasks. And I recommended her, like it was true. It was kind of it was me. It was really me. It is a real story. It happened in January 2020 in Wrocław. Barka, Tuska Wyspa, something like that. So island, Tuski, I don't remember the real name of this island. So on kind of ship, a restaurant on the ship. If you have been to Wrocław, you possibly have heard about it. Anyway, I just said you very basic idea. When you go to sleep, when you have this like long list of tasks to think about, like not to forget for tomorrow and so on, stop thinking, just put those tasks one by one into the list, into the paper, and put this paper very close to you, because once you put it onto the paper, and all the not so important tasks will go up on the upper level of memory and again start like bothering you, again start making you think about it. So put it again into the list, those new tasks, and more and more. So put all possible tasks you need to think about tomorrow into this list. All possible. Release your mind up completely, absolutely completely. And next day, guys, she were like shocked. First of all, she looked much better, and she said, it's kind of magic. I slept perfectly. I really did it. I created this list, and I felt like, yeah, now I don't need to worry about keeping those tasks into my mind. I can just put it into paper, and my mind said, okay, I can go to sleep now. Great, use it. So recommendations: if you have many routine tasks, stop like overloading the capacity of your mind and put those tasks into the paper. Just pencil it. Just do it. Just pencil it. Good. Guys, any questions? Discussion? What do you think about this recommendation? What do you think about mind mapping? What do you think about eating the elephant piece by piece, creating the mind map, the structure?
I'm using the penciling down all of the tasks that I have, and what I particularly found useful is to have the list near my bedside, because sometimes I don't sleep that well, and I wake up with the idea of the solution of the problem that I have, and if I don't write it down at that point, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I forget it by the morning. So
yeah, very typical. Yeah, thank you. That's great. Thank you. Any other ideas? Anything to share, guys? Good. We're going next. Please, if you have heard about the fishbone diagram, or about the root cause analysis, RCA, root cause analysis, please let me know into the chat. If you have heard about the fishbone, I would put it again into the chat, the fishbone. These are kind of additional ways, very specific ways to deal with problem solving. So now I'm talking mostly not about, I'm more and more focusing not on creativity. So technically I've said everything about creativity. It's just the way how your mind is trained to find different associations in your memory, in all your like storage of possible objects, structures, systems, interactions, among all possible interactions of all possible objects, to find the proper interaction to the problem you have right now, to solve this problem right now in a perfect way. So this is the creativity, like my understanding. That's it. That is out of the box thinking. When your in the box thinking is kind of a set of well-known templated ways to solve templated problems, but your mind goes farther and find not so templated a new way to solve. But anyway, the only possibility for you, for your mind to find this another way is to have heard about this unusual way of solving problems from your past. One more interesting example. It's kind of the hypothesis of how the LSD, you know, this drug, LSD, lithitamine, diethylamide, yes, lysergine acid diethylamide, LSD, yeah. So how it works with our mind, it's kind of hypothesis. So when we take, I mean, not we, I hope not we, but some people take this drug, LSD, possibly you know, you have heard about the drug. It's like psychotropic drug invented in the 70s or something like that. It starts killing the neurons in our brain. And neurons, when they die, they try to pass the associations they're aware of, the associations they're like in charge of, the associations they track, they keep, to other neurons, not to forget it. And during that time, those like random associations just run in front of our conscious mind. From our memory, it runs through our conscious mind. That is why when people using those drugs, they can, for example, look at this, I don't know, any object like this coffee cup and say, oh, it's like a rose. I touch it, I feel it, it's like a rose, like a flower. Oh my God, it's so bright. I can't look at it, it's so bright. Just because kind of memory from some specific dying neuron goes through the conscious mind and creates the feeling that this specific, any random object has some kind of another random quality, another random property. But this is just hypothesis, yeah? So, I mean, the way how the neurons dies and just try to transfer this, like, content to other neurons. But now, one more, like, it was just an example about those associations. So for some people, those drugs helps to find those associations. So mind pause helps you to find unusual associations when you just meditate. And here, guys, one more way I haven't mentioned yet, one more way to become more creative, the way to meditate, the way to stop thinking. And this is the way how you can stop your mind bringing templated solutions to your conscious mind, from your subconscious mind to your conscious mind. So just meditate, relax, and stop all possible thoughts. Of course, you need to train a little bit to reach the success. So when you meditate, when you just sit and calm and stop thinking and create this mental pause, you can Google if you need what is mental pause or like brain silence. There are many different names for that. When you just try to stop thinking at all. Please, guys, if you have ever practiced these mental pauses and you really stop thinking, please put a plus into the chat. I practice it, I mean, regularly, and yes, I can put a plus too. Thank you very much, Levan, I see. So one more way to boost your creativity is meditative techniques. So what do we have? Read, travel, I mean, any ways to enrich your storage of possible associations. Then any way to remove the template associations, meditating, doing sport, again, doing sport, drawing, type of meditation, doing art, again, type of meditation, and just removing templated, again, putting on paper. So when you put those templated techniques, templated ways to solve the problem on the paper, your mind don't need to think about it even more. So your mind can find more unusual, unique, out of the box ways how to solve the problem you have. Good, that's it, summarized. Good, thank you very much for your pluses, very good. And now the fishbone diagram. What does this mean? It's a way to provide the root cause analysis. So now I slowly move from creativity, like pure creativity, to very specific way of creativity, the problem solving, the art of problem solving. So imagine there is a problem, any kind of problem, like I have nothing to eat in my home, or democracy in Belarus, or I don't know, my car, I cannot ignite my car, or any kind of problem, or oh my God, we want to go to 3 or 4 different youth work or youth exchanges in different countries, but all those youth exchanges took place in June between big waves of coronavirus, so we need to do something with that. Oh my God, the problem, yeah? We think what could be the reason of this problem? First possible reason, the cause of this problem. And we find the cause of the problem number one. Then we just think, what can be another possible cause, the reason of that problem? And we find another cause of the problem. Then we repeat it again and again and again. Cause 1, cause 2, cause 3, cause 4, and we create a big set of possible causes. Then, it's not the end, it's just the beginning. So, technically, you need to do it. I mean, I highly recommend to do it not alone, guys. Bing! One more way to develop your creativity. Stop being alone. Remember that second person has absolutely different background, absolutely different storage of associations. And you remember this example with the keyword dinner at the beginning of our session when I asked you for associations, and some people propose beer, another sushi, another something like table, another hunger, and so on. So every person has his or her own associations. So just when you generate a first association, next person can generate his or her own association to this, your association. So you go deeper and you can react on that. Your subconscious mind can react. So like you hook one association hooked with another one, and you create a great way deeper into the problem. So one more great way to develop the creativity when you do problem solving, any problem solving or any like creativity session, find another person. Never do it alone. Do your best to not to do it alone. It's very typical for brainstorming. Yes, brainstorming is a group activity. 3 to 7 people normally. 4 to 5 is average. Very good scenario. So coming back to the fishbone diagram and to the root cause analysis technique. So when you go to the end of this fishbone, so you need to do it really like long time, finding, okay, now all possible problems, all possible causes are here on this fishbone diagram. We have everything. There are no more possible causes for the problem we have. So all causes, we have found all the causes. Good. Now we can go to the next level. Take only the first cause, only the first reason, only the first situation that brought you to the problem, and ask, what was possible cause of this situation? Cause of cause 1. What was another possible cause of cause 1? Cause 1 of cause 1, cause 2 of cause 1. So you investigate each specific cause really deeper, like as deep as possible. Then you take next one, next one, next one, next one, and repeat it again and again. Is it clear enough? Please let me know if you like. Just follow me if you track on this. And yeah, good. I see your answers. Thank you very much. So finally, next step. So when you have all possible causes of all possible causes, next step, you take. I mean, again, yes. You can, of course, you can go on next level, cause of cause 1, and even next level, cause of cause 1, and so on and so forth. So you need to go as deep as it is needed by your problem. I mean, there is no specific level to reach, level to go, level to yes, no specific bottom for you. So you should find the bottom yourself. I mean, the lowest, the floor of this ocean. Yeah, so you possibly need a really big piece of paper for that. And what is next? You take every specific cause from the farthest, from the most distant ones, and find the solution of what to do to solve the situation, to change the situation to a better way. You just like think, okay, this is the cause of the cause of the cause of the cause, and what should we do to change the situation, to solve this specific problem, not this one, but this specific. And again, you repeat it with every specific cause of every specific cause of every specific cause of your fishbone diagram of your problem solving. Is it clear enough for you? Please let me know if you have any questions. What do you think about this technique? Clever. Thank you very much, Eleni. Good. Well, one more very specific techniques. Are you ready for one more specific techniques? Maybe you need a 1 minute break to refresh your mind. By the way, this is one more tool to develop to boost your creativity. Taking a break. Let me please propose you a 1 minute break. It's 6:05 on my watch. So at 6:07, we continue this session. I will not switch off the recording. So if you're watching this video in recording in YouTube, just like skip approximately 1 minute. Guys, use this 1 minute like just for anything you would like to use it for. And time is up. We're continuing right now. Next, one more interesting technique is the focal object technique. To provide this technique, I need a person with a problem to solve. Please, if anybody of you guys, I mean, Yelena, Levan, Saba, Eleni, if you have any, like anybody of you have a problem, like you need to think within the next few days or weeks or, you know, years, problem to work with, problem to solve, please put a plus into the chat. Yes, Levan. So we work, okay, Yelena and Saba, okay, but Levan was the first, so let's think about Levan's problem. We don't know the Levan's problem, but I will explain you what to do, and we will generate many ideas, and Levan will decide which of ideas can be implemented to the problem, which is not. So it's, again, sounds like a brainstorming, but it is not. I would kindly ask everybody of you, I mean, possibly not Levan, you will be now the problem owner. So please, you do not participate. And Yelena, Eleni, and Saba will be kind of experts in problem solving. I would kindly ask everybody of you guys, Yelena, Eleni, and Saba, to generate a noun. Each one of you, please generate one random noun and put this noun into the chat right now. Generate a random noun. No, you don't need, Levan, you don't need to say about your problem. We don't know this problem, and it's better for us not to work on this problem yet. We have two nouns, book and good. Okay, good is not, okay, it is. Table and negotiating. Very good. Now, next level. I would kindly ask Yelena, Eleni, and Saba to generate adjectives, but adjectives to the noun of another person, and namely, Saba, please take the noun of Yelena. Yelena, please take the noun of Eleni. And Eleni, please take the noun of Saba. And everybody of you, please generate at least seven adjectives to the noun of another person I told to you. I mean, if the object, the noun is, let's say, pillow, think, how is this pillow? What is the quality of this pillow? The pillow can be soft. The pillow can be red. The pillow can be wet. The pillow can be damaged. The pillow can be big. The pillow can be blowed, like blowing pillow, and so on. So please generate 7 adjectives to the noun of another person and put those 7 adjectives into the chat. I mean, I recommend to like type it one by one and then press enter only once to have a list of those adjectives like at once. Not just...
I'm sorry, I forgot whose noun.
As far as I remember, Saba, you take the noun of Yelena in the chat. Actually, it's book.
Yeah.
Yelena takes the noun of Eleni, it's table. And Eleni, please take the noun of Saba, it's negotiations. Negotiation, yeah. And please generate 7 adjectives, like ask yourself, what can be the quality of this noun in any sentence? Create those 7 adjectives and post. Good, we have those lists, good. And, okay, we will have one more list very soon from Saba, yeah, good. So next level of this, so it's a technique of focal objects. This technique is used mostly in marketing, in creating of like commercial companies, advertising companies, and so on. Like when people have any kind of, let's say, a new yogurt, they need to sell this yogurt. They have like many, like dozens of tons of this yogurt, and they need to sell this yogurt to, for example, citizens of, let's say, I don't know, Slovakia or Croatia, and they need to create a new advertising company to sell this, to make the Croatian people to buy this yogurt in the stores. So they create a new story for that, and sometimes they use this technique of focal objects. So what we do, Saba, we're waiting for your set of sentences and we can go to the next level. So we have our 11 with the problem. Now there are 2 different ways how to behave. 11 can go, like we can use it in blind way, or we can use it in open, visible way. In blind way, 11 just take all the adjectives and try to implement those adjectives into the problem, onto the problem. If we do it in open way, in visible way, we learn the problem. So 11 should explain what the problem is. And we again do the rotation. And Yelena takes the set of adjectives provided by Eleni. Eleni takes the set of adjectives provided by Saba. And Saba takes the set of adjectives provided by Yelena, as far as I remember. So again, we need to take the adjectives of new person, another person. And you guys, Yelena, Eleni, and Saba, try to implement, to put those adjectives to the problem and ask yourself how this adjective can help solving the problem. What does this mean to put the adjective on the problem? It sounds pretty confusing, possibly. It sounds confusing for me when I heard it for the first time. Well, you implement this adjective to every specific object or subject or person of the problem. Like, for example, we have a problem. Our dog is like, I don't know, pissing into the shoes of my guests. I mean, like, I don't know, random problem from somewhere from my subconscious mind. Yeah, and we have a set of adjectives, for example, perfect kissing dog. It's just like pee into the like shoes, and perfect. Maybe I can perfectly train my dog. Maybe not. Let's try again. Nice. Okay, I can go like telling the dog that the dog is nice when the dog is not peeing into the shoes of my guests. One more way. Next, great. Something like that, possibly. Adventurous. Okay, maybe I can propose some adventures to the dog to train my dog. Impressive. Maybe I need to be more impressive and like explain more impressively to the dog that dog shouldn't pee into the shoes. Awful. Maybe I need to swear on dog and like train the dog from the bad side. So punish the dog. Effective. Okay, so this is what just example. Yes, how could I like take any random problem and implement set of adjectives? Thank you very much, Eleni. Yep. So it was just like like implementation. So now, would you like to try the blind way when Levan do it himself, or you would like to try the open way when we ask Levan to explain the problem and then we try to solve this problem using the adjectives of the person? Open? Good. So Levan, microphone goes to you. Please explain and tell us about the problem you have. My problem is I have skills to become the animation creator, but I'm studying the economics right now. Well, so far I see the okay, and I know how to I know how to connect. I know how to connect. Okay. Is it all or not? These two, okay. Do you know how to connect those two, or you don't know how to connect those two? Don't know how to connect those two. So you have skills to become the animation creator, but studying the economics right now. Well, okay. So let me please do not become the coach and not solve your problem myself, please. I need to stop myself. Good. So now, please, you see the problem by Levan. And I would kindly ask Yelena, take the set of adjectives from Eleni. Eleni, take from Saba. Saba, take from Yelena. And try, everybody of you, try to implement all those adjectives to the problem you learned from Levan. And then try to put a short explanations of possible solutions for Levan's problem. Please go on right now. And by the way, Levan, while you have some time, you're absolutely welcome to do the same yourself. Just take a random set of objectives and implement those set of objectives to your problem, because you always know more about the problem than you put into the chat. We already have first proposal from Yelena. Please continue. So, yep, there are many ways to implement this nice adjective to the situation, but you don't need to stuck only on nice. So we have 7 adjectives to work with. So take your time. And Levan, please do the same, and then you can compare. Maybe you can find even more diverse situations, more diverse solutions. Let's try to finish within 5 minutes, guys. So, I mean, still enough time left. Take your time, it's okay. Approximately 2 minutes left, colleagues. If anybody is done, please put just done into the chat. And the time is up. Done, done, good. Let's stop at that moment. So Levan, you're welcome to read all proposals. Think about them, and finally, right now or a bit later, please, Levan, give us the information. Like, have you found any new idea how to think about the situation? Have you found any possible way to find the final solution? What does this mean? We worked on this problem just for 10 or 15 minutes, just 4 people from different countries for 10 minutes. Of course, it's nothing to big problems, and problem kind of pretty big for person, like person have spent many time for education, but has another direction, or like desired direction of self-development. It's like big solution. I mean, it's a very important solution that person needs to come to. So it is really like almost impossible to solve this problem by 4 people within 10 minutes. But anyway, Levan, so what can we do now is to like propose, I mean, as far as I understand the situation, what really can we do is to propose possible direction of thinking, direction of finding the final solution of the situation. So Levan, please evaluate your own and other solutions proposed by people in the chat and give us, possibly within next 15 minutes, give us any kind of answer on how like useful, do you have any useful ideas, any like ideas that can be utilized, can be implemented, can give you new inspiration in thinking, in understanding the situation you have mentioned. Okay, so Levan, please think, please evaluate, and we have some time to take one more like way that also used as creativity development tool. And Levan, you like, if you can please think about the problem, because it was practical task right now, and it would be really great if you can give us your answer right now, because next tool is pretty, like next technique is pretty easy. As far as I heard the legend, it used very well in Toyota factories, in Toyota Corporation in Japan, the method of 5 whys. So, well, that's it. Yeah, You don't need anything more. So when you have a problem, of course, first of all, okay, guys, I didn't mention a very important thing. Formulating the problem, defining the problem. So you need to clearly define what the problem is. For example, in Lemon's description, I couldn't find a good definition of problem. I mean, not so perfect, at least for now. Possibly the definition would be like, I want to become an animation, like animation artist. Or what was it? Sorry, I need to like read it again. Sorry. Possibly I missed some important. Okay, animation creator. I want to become an animation creator, but I'm studying the economics right now. So, like, it sounds a little bit different if it sounds like I want to become the animation creator, but possibly I'm wrong because I don't know. I'm not the problem owner. Levon is the problem owner, so possibly the problem was formulated as exactly as Levon sees this problem. Like I have skills to become the animation creator. So not I want to, but I have skills to become, because it's different ways, like different problems, different situations. Well, so formulating a problem. So imagine, let's possibly take another problem. We also had people with problems, as far as I remember, maybe Yelena or Eleni, who was a problem, who had a problem. Yelena was second one with a problem. Let's try. I mean, the method of focal objects is pretty universal and very creative. I like this method, but method of 5 whys is kind of easy way of root cause analysis. So again, we do approximately the same, but just on very easy level, but very clear and understandable level. So Yelena, would you like to inform us about your problem?
Okay, so part of my job is that I am in charge for cinema as well in my town. And since our cinema is open since May, but what we are seeing that people are not coming back to cinemas, and I have to find new ways how to attract them to go back to the cinema. And I don't know how.
Okay, thank you very much. Why people aren't coming to the cinema?
Because they are afraid a bit, and because we do not have new films.
Okay. Why don't you have new films?
Because distributors of the films are not releasing new films because they are waiting for all the cinemas in the world to open, to have, you know, finance, good finance.
Okay. Why people afraid of coming?
Because they think that they will get COVID in cinema.
Why they think they can get COVID in cinema?
Because our national civil, some kind of government, I don't know the English term, forum, let's say, is communicating that it is really dangerous to be in the closed spaces and you can get COVID.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So far, I see just 4 whys, and like from my perspective, possibly somebody else have another whys, another questions to Yelena to continue this like sequence. Please do. Please ask, because I have no more questions so far, and I can go to conclusion from my side. But I would really appreciate if somebody can continue. Okay. So far, I see 2 people to blame. I mean, blaming is kind of not so positive word, but kind of 2 responsible sides, 2 responsible actors who aren't under your control. On second why, it was actor, let's say, movies broadcasting agencies, something like that. Is it correct?
Yes.
Who just don't produce, don't push, don't give new, don't make Okay, I don't know where is my mind? What is the word to use?
Release.
Yes, thank you very much. That's the word. Thank you very much. Perfect. Do not release new movies that you can rent and use for the cinema. Yeah.
Yes.
First. And second, actor, you again, who is out of your control, is let's say a national government, kind of national government. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who makes the regulations to like limit the amount of people and so on.
It's not the problem of limiting the people, it's the non-clear communication on what is safe and what it's not. Because they're saying it's safe to go to school to close space, but it's not safe to go to cinema, which doesn't make any sense.
Good. So not clear communication. So we developed it. So you see, normally we consider that we cannot change the I mean, technically we can, but it's like really complicated to change the local law, especially within this coronavirus time and the law connected to coronavirus, related to coronavirus. So normally, when we normal regular people, we consider that we cannot change the law. So we need to behave within the law, the regulations of the law. So we have any specific regulations, but we have this like miscommunication between possibly people and authorities. Yeah, is it correct?
Yes. Yes.
So as far as I see the situation, talking about new movies release, you can wait for new movies. You can find some alternative movie releasing agencies, maybe in other countries, so like just another movies, like from another places. Possibly it's impossible. I don't know. Maybe it's impossible. I don't know some details. You know, but I don't. But if you can try to find new sources of movies to use for your cinema. And finally, you possibly can find a way how to explain some people something. Maybe you can reorganize the cinema somehow to make it following the regulations, and at the same time explain, like write an article in the local newspaper about the cinema, about new cinema safety measures. So implement, I don't know, it's kind of a shield between every two chairs, sanitizer gel in an entrance, and some kind of masks all the time, and again free mask to all who is entering the cinema, and so on. So like, of course, it always additional costs, and you need to be even more creative. I mean, yeah, it's, remember, money is kind of very big enemy of creativity, because almost any problem can be solved when we have more money. Yes, I have a problem. If I have even much more money, I wouldn't have this problem. So I would just like buy a solution. But it's a really, you should be really creative. I mean, we all should be really creative to solve this any apparent problem, any apparent situation within the budget we have. So I cannot solve your problem instead of you, but there is the actor outside of us, not under our control. So possibly you need to look for new way to, and I don't think it's a new information for you. I'm sure you already have thought about it. And one more, any specific way to follow the regulations, so to have a legal right to launch the cinema and to show something, and at the same time a way to explain people that you are okay, that going to your cinema is safe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah, technically it was just demonstration. I definitely sure I haven't solved anything specific. By the way, do we have any feedback from Levan regarding the solutions? Thank you for all the ideas. I read all of them, and as I see now, solution is to make decisions and step instead of thinking what is possible. Good, thank you very much, Levan. So this was one more technique, how to boost the creativity. So again, you see, it's kind of easy way of this fishbone diagram, the root cause analysis, but kind of it can be provided by lonely person just here and now, so without any specific resources. That's it. Any questions, guys, for now? Feedback, ideas, what do you think about everything we discussed? Okay, please give me your... So there is one more, okay, there are many more different tools. There are many more different like games and specific tables, cards, creativity cards, inspiration cards, and so on. Trees, of course, I need to mention trees. Theory of invention problem solving, or theory of inventive problem solving. So trees, because it goes from Russian language, and if you Google trees, you can find a lot of information about what is it and how it works. And I really recommend you to go a little bit inside trees and to learn something about problem solving and typical like systems. And okay, I don't remember all the theory. So there are many beautiful ideas, many beautiful ways how to provide problem solving. Like morphological tables needs normally about 3 hours to work with groups, not remotely even more time, and we need a real problem to work with to understand how it works, and very big table to put a lot of information about the problem on it. And trees is kind of very big discipline, very long, so like we can provide a long training course for about like 60 hours to 80 hours about trees techniques and like working with that and so on. Anyway, the main idea to develop your creativity. Let your mind, free your mind, release your mind of routine everyday tasks. Release your mind out of templated solutions. So meditate, have a walk, and reach your storage of possible solutions. So read, travel, behave in a different way. Train your monkeys to be more diverse, to look for solutions in diverse way. Go to job in new ways, use new paths. Put the mouse on left hand, I don't know, drive the car with another hand, do some usual activities in unusual way, in stupid way, in funny way. It will retrain your mind and give you more creativity. Eat soup with fork, great. Yes, that's, thank you very much, by the way, Levan, that's really great. One very important safety regulations. So creativity should also fit the problem canvas. It should fit the problem, the like resources of the situation, should fit the expectations, the requirements. So we can be really creative when we eat soup with fork, but how effective is that? So this a kind of additional dark side of creativity, effectivity and efficiency. Talking about this, like this way to your job by like by new path. Like you can go to a job visiting Warsaw or Moscow, but it can take few days and few months instead of few minutes. And of course, it is not efficient enough. Like we cannot allow it to ourselves. And the same, I mean, it's kind of very stupid, very visible example, very understandable example. But when we work with a real problem, any creative solutions can be not so visibly ineffective and inefficient. So we should have some practice. That is when we need our experts. You see, experts are really bad in creativity because they are really deep in the situation. They like they full of templated solutions. Experts, they are bad for creativity. Kids are good for creativity because they have no templated solutions. Like they have very great potential, but unfortunately, neither experts nor kids good for creative problem solving for real industry, for real business, for example, because kids don't know the requirements, don't know the practices, and experts always can propose only cliched, templated solutions from books because they are really good in reading books. Okay, not, of course, experts are different. There are very different experts. So like I'm not talking about all experts, but kind of typical cliched experts. They're just full of cliched solutions, and they're really great in providing cliched templated solutions to the templated problems, and they're really good at it. But when you combine the inner kid, you should develop your inner kid. Inspired person who just like tries to find unusual solution of the problem and combine it with expertise, you can reach a really great level of successful, effective, efficient creativity. Well, that was the main thought of today's session, guys. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your participation, for your activity, for your problems you proposed. I really hope you can find something useful in our process of creative working on your problems. Give me please your feedback about this session. What do you feel about it? How was it for you? How new, how effective, how efficient? How creative? Give me a feedback, please.
It was a great session, especially the part where we put some, solutions with specific adjectives.
Mhm.
And thank you, and hope you best.
Great. It ended very fast. I was not expecting that almost 2 hours has passed. Yeah, agree with you, Levon. Yeah, it's time is strange thing sometimes. Good, guys. So thank you very much for your feedback. Thank you again for your participation. At that moment, we can finish our call. So I'm switching off the recording. And all the best to everybody who is watching us in YouTube. Please put like and subscribe to our channel, of course. Well, where is my stop recording? Thank you, Eleni. All the best. And yes, I'm still switching off the recording.